But you must have encountered some clients who like want results in a week time.
So it all depends what is the requirement. But yes, as all clients know, even in any other space, you cannot birth a baby in 1 week. And we do turn down anyone asking us to build 1,000 followers in a week. Anyone coming to us saying, I've been approached by somebody who will, I need to pay 1,500 and they'll give me 5,000 followers. We say, please go there.
So I think in the next 5 years, we will see some amazing applications of IoT in healthcare industry, especially when you merge AI with IoT, and the entire ecosystem will be something extraordinary to witness. So where you see healthcare industry heading in the next 5 years? And
it's really beneficial for a hospital to not expand on staffing and things like that if they go with IoT. Likewise with the pharma space as well. There's so many things that robotics is set in, and there's so many simple solutions that can be given even to independent consultants. And yes, that is also something that we are undertaking with our collaborative partners. We do have projects in IoT as well. And right now, we haven't marketed it as an agency in a big manner. We're only doing it with clients that we work with.
Welcome to Marketers 10. We are here for another episode. Today, we will be talking about marketing in healthcare industry, but why it is important. Because healthcare is something which is quite personal to every person. And to tap into that personal space and as a brand, this is a very big thing. If you're a brand in healthcare industry, you know that the biggest highlight is trust. If a patient or a customer trusts your brand, then there are several opportunities that you can explore. So we have seen this with big names like Fortis Healthcare. Johnson & Johnson is one of the biggest example where they lost their trust due to a big board suit in USA. Such cases are there where trust is a very big aspect. There was a big negative promotion on MSG. It was in Maggie, and we saw the sales of Maggie drop to a large extent. So this is why I thought that the trust aspect of healthcare industry is very important. And I thought that why not talk to an expert who has been part of branding in healthcare industry and who has an expertise in the field. So today we have with us Susan. She is a great, she's not just a branding expert, she's an entrepreneur. So you can understand an entrepreneur is almost working 24/7, 365 days, and it's a hectic schedule all around. And I can understand it's a pleasure and an honor that such a woman entrepreneur of India has come on board to have an episode with us. So Anita, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi Sachin. It was really, really sweet of you, everything that you said. I think, being an entrepreneur is just one of the things that I am. But it makes for most of my identity today because it's really opened up the world to me. And it's really brought people like you, in fact, into my world. And it's really nice to talk to fellow marketers, content creators, and simply, have a platform in which we can share ideas and see what's working, what's not working. Thank you for having me on your show. And it's been very interesting, some of the episodes you've been doing. And it's very sweet of you to wait on some of us and, wait for our time and schedule this. So thank you so much. And looking forward to a really good session today with you. Regarding my journey, so it began a long time ago. So fresh out of college, I was lucky not to wait on a job. I joined the industry, as anyone else was doing back then in 2000. Do an NIT course, no matter what your degree is, and join the software industry. But I believe, my journey has been very interesting from there. And I enjoyed my stint in the software industry. However, I did learn that I was a fish trying to climb the tree. And I was a really bad fit. But it taught me many things during the entire 3 years that I worked with Temenos. And it taught me how to, be a global citizen for one, because we were always interacting with international clients. It taught us very young in our career how to, present yourself, how communication is key. And how sometimes, no matter what your skill set is and how good your code is, if you communicate wrong with a client, especially in a board meeting or something like that, your entire service can be said no to. And these are things that I carried with me. And I did develop a little bit of technical writing skills as well while there. And I began pretty much, with content as my forte after that. So it was primarily my stint as a at-home mom where I had to, find a skill set that worked for me while juggling a personal life. And content writing was pretty much it back then. And from there, I went to content moderation, content editing, and worked many, jobs, many industries, and with a lot of agencies as a freelancer, and was a pain in everyone's, a day, because I used to sit with people and try to learn processes in marketing. I am not a MBA or I'm not a marketeer, who's qualified other than certifications that I've done. But yes, I am someone that learned on the job in the industry for the last 15 years. And I think primary takeaway from the IT exposure that I had is no matter who you are and what you do, eventually you develop a logical sense. And I believe that helps a lot with brand strategy, because you do know, that you need to two things. One is to evolve with times, which means you stay open to being a learner, and you also understand a brand and how the USP will work in a forward manner. And that exposure definitely helped me. It's also the fact that I work with publishing industry that helped. Working with some very good marketing houses here, working with some very good clients, pretty much being thrown into the fire and taught on the job helped a lot more than anything else. And I think I give my team the same opportunities today. No matter where they come from, if there is an ability to learn and there's an ability to apply yourself, I believe you do a very good job for your client. And execution, no matter what, has to remain really, really good, and that is something most people don't have today. They take in projects and they service clients, and they don't really stay with the client's journey. You have to put yourself in your client's shoes and evolve with your client as well. So I think these are some of the skills that I developed over the years, and it's simply from exposure and being willing to learn. So nothing else really.
Being an say a technical writer to freelancer and then to entrepreneur. So what has been the difference in the psyche of a person like you? How have you adjusted yourself to the different roles that you have been subjected to over the years?
Levels of responsibility change. You also understand with every role change that you have that your time is very important. Your health is even more important. Because you cannot make clear decisions in a very quick span of time. As an entrepreneur, we juggle many things. We juggle between, operational issues. We juggle between escalations. We juggle between also business development opportunities, networking, everything. And a sense of achievement only comes if you're able to keep your calm. And upskilling is something that you cannot say no to as an entrepreneur. If you decide that you know yourself really well, you are not willing to take feedback or criticism, especially in-house, you're not going to grow. And how have I been able to juggle these roles? I think I've been able to juggle these roles well now with a very agile team. Also with the fact that if you come across as authentic, and you are definitely going to be authentic in all your dealings, whether it be your clients, whether it be your resources, and with yourself, you're going to be able to find time to do it all. It's a myth that people say we are too busy. It can be, that there may be things in the day that go out of control. And with entrepreneurship, there are many days like that where we feel like, something just gets thrown our way, but it's all possible. And you get better at it. You get better at your time management. So it's primarily the most important skill, I believe, as an entrepreneur to have.
Your journey has been really fascinating, and it is an inspiration to many. And your exploits into the healthcare industry is also very inspiring in the sense that you have been a branding expert to many clients across the healthcare industry. So I wanted to understand the importance of ethics in healthcare industry, because we see many healthcare products and organizations that do promote their products, but there is an issue with the trust part. What do you think as a branding expert? How much is the ethics part important in marketing?
I think, to do any sort of branding, you first have to identify with the brand. And that's a choice a marketer gets. If you still choose to go with a brand you're not convinced about, you're simply doing it for business reasons. And I don't think I have ever done anything, speaking strictly from my perspective, that I've ever worked with a brand I don't believe in. Yes, there are certain standards that we look for. We look for regulatory, procedures, things like that. We also look for how the brand portrays itself. For instance, you cannot say sustainable if you are truly not sustainable. You can't say organic if you're truly not organic. There can be a certain, or if, let's say, testing, for instance, in the pharma industry, they have a release of a short-term product, or they have a molecule release. We need to have a little bit of expertise. And I believe that's where we do a lot of research into a brand. We do what is called scoping analysis. We study the brand, we study their positioning, we ask them for data, and no matter what, data today is very important, because if a sample size is not convincing enough, tomorrow if we embark on a project and the client is scrapped from the market or is blacklisted, even as a company marketing someone who is quite a doubtful character is going to be a problem, because it's not the right business model. You've adapted simply to make money at the end of the day. It's very important in branding that to be able to develop content for a client, you need to know your client. And if your client is not revealing all the facts on the table about their business model during discovery, you take a call whether you want to work with the client or not, and how much exposure you want to have if you decide to work with a client or not. There are tough decisions like this we go through. Ethics is very important, but as a marketing agency, you can only advise your client that much. And there are many times that whether it's a big brand or a small brand, I have chosen not to work with the brand. And we have a clear policy also where our resources are not allowed to work with a brand also on a freelance basis if we blacklist a brand. Because no matter what, they represent us on contract, and it's not the advisable model at all. So this is how we do it.
So we, as a marketer, I know that when it comes to money and healthcare, Google is very specific about the content that we publish, and ranking factors are also come into play, and it's a big thing. But how you tackle this and how you bring more results to your clients using the expertise in, especially on the SEO part?
We augment it with a lot of organic activity. We simply do a lot more organic marketing. See, one thing is in the healthcare industry, you cannot do too much of inorganic marketing. You can't, really do too much of inorganic lead generation. It should be with organic value. So we opt for more organic methods. We believe that if, like I said, if the client is authentic. Now, for instance, if you're branding a hospital, you put more testimonials, you put more case studies out there. You talk about, the problems they have solved. You get their doctors on board, to basically give value to patient problems. And you create video marketing and you promote that organically. You tie up with probably influencers who, can perhaps add value to your own value proposition. Also, it is also the fact that, in the healthcare space, everyone is vying with everyone in terms of the keywords and all that. So no matter what, we also try and educate our clients and tell them that where is the importance, that where we perhaps go in certain industries, we do 60-40 in terms of inorganics and organics. With healthcare, we normally choose a 30-70 model where we choose 70% on organics versus 30% only on inorganics. So that is primarily where we brand. And there is a lot of impetus on personal branding. There is a lot of impetus on scientific branding. So for a hospital or for a doctor, we definitely, tell them to publish a lot of articles, etc., that was also scientifically relevant, to their field of work. And we ask them to choose methods like that. Some of those methods have really worked with some stellar, organizations here. We believe branding is not something that has anything to do with short-term value. It's not basically to launch a star. Most clients understand that today in the healthcare space, and they invest more into their branding strategies over their inorganic marketing strategies. Yes, we do marketing, but we do more of targeted marketing.
But you must have encountered some clients who want results in a week time. I remember I had worked with IVF organization who wanted their marketing results within a week. I still remember, and I sat down with them and I made them understand that you need at least time of 3 months or something. But basically, that was social media marketing. They did not want anything else. You are not a Justin Bieber or say someone else that in a week you will see lots and lots of followers and all that stuff. There were specific medical terms that they wanted to avoid using in the content. They did not want me to go too much into the depth of scientific aspects and all that. So do you face such challenges while you are creating content? And what is your strategy while you are creating content? Do you involve your clients actively into the content creation process?
You cannot do any content for the healthcare space without your client being involved. For instance, if we have a content calendar being developed for social media, you need to have your client on board on the ideation. You need to understand what it is that they want to brand, within that week, what they want to market, etc. We normally work with a month ahead in mind, and all the content is planned at least a month ahead. And in case of news and media and any quick things that, we do accommodate within the content calendar, things like that. Because with doctors, they are always saving lives. And to save a life, you cannot schedule it on any calendar. And some of these things, we have had instances where hospitals or, individual consultants have done groundbreaking things in a matter of 3 days, which gets published all over. Of course, we have concurrence like that. But I think if I have to give you an example now, if you're looking at doing a camp, let's say for cardiac awareness in tier 2 or tier 3, you're looking at quick results because they would have probably tied up with a local hospital. You're looking at quick awareness. You're looking at people to come into this camp. You can't just do digital marketing in places like that. We have to look at ATL techniques as well. We have to do a little bit of PR. So definitely an independent marketer cannot handle these kind of things. You need to have an agency, because an agency brings with it multi-components. We're not just talking about marketing, we're not just talking about branding, we're talking about ad distribution, we're talking about media campaigns, we're talking about a lot of other things as well. So it all depends what is the requirement. But yes, as all clients know, even in any other space, you cannot birth a baby in 1 week. And we do turn down anyone asking us to build 1,000 followers in a week. Anyone coming to us saying, I've been approached by somebody who will, I need to pay 1,500 and they'll give me 5,000 followers. We say, please go there, because they will find themselves blacklisted simply because many marketeers promise this. And there are scams and aplenty in this country, and we don't want to work with clients like that, to be very honest.
Yes. Even on the YouTube, you will find people like, we will improve your watch hours. So these sort of scams are always there. Yeah. And coming to the current trends, so that you know that there is an AI boom right now everywhere, and in every sector we see, almost in marketing sector is like witnessing something extraordinary. So that how AI has affected the healthcare industry marketing. Like recently there was a case with ChatGPT also, where there was sort of misinformation. Even personally, I have used ChatGPT, and I have observed that sometimes it makes things up which are not there. So especially why I am saying this, because healthcare industry is where you need a profound research, and you need to be accurate with your facts and every scientific approach. So how AI has impacted it, and how it is challenging to keep up with the AI?
Okay, to answer that, it is a given fact that video kill the radio star. So I do believe that it's a great way to go if you're looking to establish presence as a marketing agency. It gives you the ability to take in volumes. But where this entire equation is, for instance, probably people are using ChatGPT to write their personal emails, or to respond, or to create a resume on a personal level, sure. But you cannot rely on it to construct an SEO blog. You cannot rely on it to write a white paper. You cannot rely on it to tomorrow put up scientific publication. You cannot rely on it to give you multiple ideas. You cannot also rely on it to write a testimonial, better. These are things that we know none of these tools can work, because the simple thing is, you need to have prompt engineering developed to the zenith to be able to do that. And it's not possible without having a lot of background fed into these tools to get the right responses. We have an entire team that is in fact looking at prompt engineering, but we are not using it on any of our content. For instance, it speeds up our work, it speeds up our research time. It is not to construct our content at all. And if anyone is doing that, for instance, all your SEO analytic tools will just pick it out and throw it in the garbage bin. And if you, a lot of people, basically come back to us saying, oh, but I can get my blogs written really cheap on Upworks. And yeah, but you will also find that the entire strategy that you have done is going to, not sell itself. And there is a reason why a client comes to someone that's a branding expert and says, please do my job for me end to end. The reason being, they don't have the time to take control of all these minute parts and see that the quality is coming back to them on point. No one will be willing to take a quality hit. In fact, if you look at our articles and things like that, we generally have 0% plagiarism. And places where we have references and scientific opinion to be shared, we probably have a 1 to 2%. And no tool can give you that. We have actually tested it against some of the content we have written. It will give you definitely exactly similar looking erroneous content. We have SMEs developing our content and not writers. So, which basically means, someone that is in dentistry understands dentistry. Someone in pharmaceuticals understands pharmaceuticals. And we cannot have, content that's just in the www to be authentic. You need to have subject matter expertise, even with social media content with healthcare. If you're not careful, you send out the wrong messages, and your competition can simply make hay while the sun shines with your problems. And that's the reason why we are not heavily worried about these things. We don't need them because, like I said, if you're looking to grow as a business, it really helps. Where a writer can probably churn out one good blog a day, now he can churn out at least 3 good blogs a day because he has his wireframe done well for him with prompt engineering. And I think right now we also have other tools that help us with design. To be fair, I like the AI tools that design gives us. They're really, really beautiful. It helps with a lot of ideation. It helps with a lot of scenario. On another spectrum, we are also looking to get into metaverse marketing. And it definitely is a better evolution. I feel design has evolved better with the AI tools than probably content has. And that's not a very reliable segment. But yes, design has some really good offerings to go. It's very interesting to watch. And I think if you want to stay ahead of the way things are evolving in the next decade, you need it. You need to know it. and you definitely need a team to be able to know it and educate you about it. And to be fair, my team probably has a lot more in-depth knowledge today than I do. And very often I take a day off to simply, get on board with what is out there in the market to educate myself. And we need that. And AI is here to stay, no matter what anyone says. A lot of people say, oh, but it doesn't understand human emotion. Wrong. It is evolving. It understands human emotion, and pretty much it is here to take some of our jobs if you are not evolving with it. And it's very scary in the fact that the capabilities are so much right now. I think we have a lot to fear from the technical capabilities that it has. And it's very likely that, there can be some very unsavory results that will happen with it. But while it's still here, I think we should still look at, learning and evolving with it. No one can say no to computers because cybersecurity is a problem today, right? And it's as simple as that. It's the same logic. The healthcare space has to evolve with it because everything is important in terms of an AR, VR perspective. Simulation labs are a must with the medical sector. In fact, some of the hospitals and large pharma houses are opting for simulation labs versus, actual industry on-the-go learning. You can't risk any more, given how much of legal implications are there. You can't have somebody just finishing an MS actually, even cut a patient open. So there are things like that now where definitely, hospitals are looking to ease some of that thing by using AI-driven tools. So it's not just marketing, like I said, for us, it's a lot more. It's a lot of 360-degree kind of thing that we do. It's a lot more in-depth than what people see. Most people now, when we say AI, they're talking ChatGPT. That's pretty much the cherry on top of the cake. The rest of the cake is where the entire thing is. And we are, I think personally, I feel like I have a long way to go in learning and upskilling there. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there.
And not a lot of people do understand that marketing agency does not just create content. It's a strategic part. There is content distribution. There are a lot of aspects to it where you cannot just rely on an AI tool. Or even if you have a tool for that, the thing is that if I am running a business, I don't have time for everything else. And that is where I think I need an expert to do my job. And that is where I think a marketing agency comes in, because there are as you said, it is a 360-degree thing. And you need an expert to do that for you. You do not have the time to run your operations, hire people, manage everything, manage finances, everything. You cannot do it yourself. And that is why I think there are people, there are experts for things.
True, because interpretation is something that you still have to feed into a machine, or a tool. You need to be able to interpret data. And that's where still the human brain scores beyond anything else. Also, automation is only possible when you get the algorithm right. And yes, there's a lot of marketing automation happening. There's a lot of operational automation happening. However, none of these things can be done without human intervention and a strategic team behind it. And that's where we position ourselves as a company. We are primarily strategists. Whether it be tech, whether it be marketing, whether it be content production, we primarily strategize. And based on strategy is how anything can happen, and we simply give the client the best solutions based on their budget.
Yeah, another thing that I wanted to discuss was the importance of IoT in healthcare industry. So I think in the next 5 years, we will see some amazing applications of IoT in healthcare industry, especially when you merge AI with IoT, and the entire ecosystem will be something extraordinary to witness. So where you see healthcare industry heading in the next 5 years, and how you see the importance of branding in that aspect, especially in IoT industry?
I think the IoT industry has a lot of implications with healthcare, simply because hiring humans is becoming difficult. For instance, there is attrition in any level. People evolve. Well, my own journey, you've understood that I've evolved with so many careers. So no matter what, I do know people who start as doctors and end up as hoteliers. And how do you explain, tomorrow, if you run a corporate hospital, you have to always understand that you are going to be looking at a floating population where human intervention is concerned. Yes, you cannot, do without it. But if you can definitely use IoT, for instance, to have contactless delivery, or you need to have let's say tomorrow a contagious diseases wing. It's really beneficial for a hospital to not expand on staffing and things like that if they go with IoT. Likewise with the pharma space as well. There's so many things that robotics has set in, and there's so many simple solutions that can be given even to independent consultants. And yes, that is also something that we are undertaking with our collaborative partners. We do have projects in IoT as well. And right now, we haven't marketed it as an agency in a big manner. We're only doing it with clients that we work with. However, yes, there's a lot of implications for IoT. One thing I do believe is these, no matter what anyone says, these are the two industries that are never going to go out of production in terms of career. Engineering is one, and medicine, no matter what, is the other. You need engineering to apply to any industry. Whether tomorrow you call it computer applications, you call it IoT, you call it anything, the base is basically engineering. And medicine is likewise. You're always in the business of saving lives. A machine's not going to come to you. Somebody has to tell the machine to come to you to save your life. So yeah, those are the implications for sure.
So this is where healthcare industry and marketing stand. I will pin down in a comment, or maybe in the description I will add the link for Woodhead Creative's website. You can go there and look for resources, and if you're interested, you can contact Anita for whatever help you need in terms of marketing in the healthcare industry and other aspects also. She's not just limited to healthcare industry. Her expertise goes across the foray of technical side also. Today we will test this up for these episodes. We will be up for another episode with another expert in the coming weeks. So stay tuned, Marketers Den, and do like, share and subscribe this. Share with your friends, and especially with your healthcare friends in the healthcare industry, doctors, physicians, whoever it is, and let them know the power of marketing in healthcare industry. Bye bye.